For those who fought in the Battle of Britain, it was a battle for survival. For the free world, it was a breathless moment in history. For failure would have plunged mankind into a new dark age. Never have so many owed so much to so few.
So hello, welcome to issue 25 and 26 of the Build a Spitfire. So following the same theme as the last episode, and we're actually going to be building 2 episodes this week. This is to assist me with my catch up. So we have got the part for issue 25. This is the frame for the underside of the starboard wing, and we also receive 4 PM screws, 2x4mm PM screws, one of which is spare. And if you've watched my episode from last week, you will see that there is nothing different than last week, except that obviously I'm working on a larger part. But one thing I have noticed, the inside of this is black and the inside of this one is green, which I find quite interesting. Why that is at this stage I do not know. I'm sure we will discover why at a later stage. So I've got my screws ready, and what we're going to do, if we remember from last week, we're looking for certain pegs to line up, which is going to be this one and this one, I believe. And there's 3 main holes, one there, one there, one there, and that is going to slot in just like that. Then all we need to do is just pop these M screws in. Are they PM screws? So I'll do the middle one, and I'm doing that just enough to hold. As you see, look, it's very loose, and this is just so that if it does move as we're building, then we've just got the ability to adjust. So that screw is in, and then we will just pop this last one in, and I'm actually using the previous wing as a guide. We figured it all out last week, and we're just pretty much copying. It's like looking in a mirror and copying, so we're going to get the opposite effect, and that I'm not sure about. So I think that's gone in fine. So we'll have a look at it, we'll look at the angle. Are we happy? Is the fit okay? I think the fit is okay, so I'm just going to proceed and tighten these screws up. And that one I was worried about, but it actually went in lovely. So that's perfect. Well, because we're screwing into metal, we can screw in until we run out of strength if we want, but we do have to be careful not to squish that plastic. So right, now we have, last week we popped these, obviously we're going to do that next, but we're going to add these supporting struts. Now we now get the opportunity to see exactly what those struts do. If I take the wing and I bend it, can you see which side has got more bend on it? Now I'm only bending it as far as I dare, and I don't recommend doing this, but if I continue to bend this, we know this side would snap and not this side. So 2 very slick, and I can't twist it, but this one I can twist. So I'm really am happy with the build so far. I cannot fault it. I've got to the point I'm looking for places to fault it, and I can't. The next stage that we're going to do is issue 26, and again we have 2 supports, one of which is straight and one of them has a bend on it, we have 2 sets of screws, and we know from last week that the black ones are for screwing into plastic and the silver ones are for screwing into metal, and I learned that because I was trying to put the wrong screw in place. So I've popped my little screws onto my little magnetic mat, and then what we will do, I've got to be honest with you guys, I've not even looked at the magazine because we're doing a copy of last week. Now there I've placed the part on, I can see that it doesn't want to go, so I'm just going to manipulate it around until there we are. That is now in the correct position, because what I'm doing is I'm actually doing a mirror image of this side. So what I will do is I will pop a metal screw, a silver screw in there and a black screw in there, then I will work my way in and then I will tighten them up. So there's a metal screw, the silver screw, and this is the plastic screw, and that all seems to fit into place. So then I'll pop the second silver screw in the bottom. Remember, we're just following previous week, and to be honest with you, this can't let you go wrong. If you do something wrong, it just won't work. For example, last week I put the black screw where the silver screw should have gone. It was just too small, and likewise if I put the silver screw in where the black screws go, it would just be too large to get into the hole. So I've put those in loosely. I'm happy with the fit, so I'm now proceeding with tightening them up, and with the 2 black screws I'm just going until they tell me they're stiff. But the silver one, I can pop that in really hard, and that wants to really fit on there properly. And I probably should have done this end one first, but that I'm really happy with. There's no movement and that's in there fine, and we can see this is going to become an inner skin. You can see that something's going in over the top. So the last stage of this particular magazine, we know that this is going in something like that. There we go. So I don't know if you noticed that, but I actually tried to line that up with the wrong hole and it kind of went, but then when I brought this in, it then pulled it to that hole, which was the correct hole. But again, if we're following this side, so some would call this cheating by not looking at the magazine. Obviously I've had a glance at it, but a lot of this issue is I've done it by feel, and I've just dropped the screw, but that's okay. So okay, and that's in just a little bit, so we're checking the fit. The fit is still good, so then we'll pop the other 2 screws in. There we go, that's gone in. So black, black, silver, silver. So that means the silver one goes in there, and then I can have another check of the fit. Yep, the angle is looking symmetrical, and you know, if you're not an expert on Spitfires, you won't know that that's the correct angle. It looks good to me, but what we're looking at is roughly the same angle. So we can now turn this around into a comfortable position, and then we can tighten these screws up. So plastic, metal, and these silver screws are actually pulling this metal plate in by quite a lot actually. So they are going in rather deep. So there we go guys, that's it. Now I am now checking the magazine because I want this to be the correct orientation. Sorry, bear with me a sec. So this is actually upside down. Whoops. And that is the issue complete. And now begins our new biggest problem, which is storing it. So what I'm actually going to do, might as well use that packaging they've given us. So I'm going to pop one wing into there, if I can find the ends. I'm going to pop the other wing into there, and then I can just pop the tissue paper over the top if I really wanted to. Oh, there you go, I've got a bit sticky on it. So there we go, guys, there is my wings. Obviously I'll be getting these out, I suspect, next week. Let's have a look at what we're doing next issue. Do you know what, I don't think we'll be touching these wings for the next couple of weeks. By the time this goes to air, we will already know what we've got. It will be public knowledge. But yeah, so there's my wings, and I'm going to store those like this, and I think that that will do a lot to protect them. So thank you very much for watching, peeps. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you next week.